New York for the final game of the first half. The Nats can extend the lead to 6 with one more win before the break. Fans here in New York are having a great weekend suddenly. Wins on Friday, a great win last night. So they're looking for 3 in a row to go into the All-Star break. And why not? Gio's been good in his career against the Mets, and he goes against Steven Matz today. So those are left-handed pitchers we're talking about. But there's a left-handed hitter who's continuing to make news all over baseball. It's unbelievable what Daniel Murphy is doing to his former ball club.
Well, speaking of news, in the New York Post today, there was an article, where would the Mets be with Daniel Murphy? How about where would the Nats be without Daniel Murphy? A guy who started the season hitting 5th, 6th sometimes, moved up to the 4th slot. You remember when Ryan Zimmerman was hitting 4th, they put Murphy in. Now he's hitting 3rd, he's turning the cover off the ball, he's doing it all. So the Nats are up by 5 games. There's 17 games over 500. Without Daniel Murphy, I don't think the Nats are in first place.
Well, a lot of people in New York feel the same way. So there's a high one, a deep one, a gone one on Thursday. Murphy just keeps on doing it against his ball club. And then last night, they go lefty-lefty with Bastardo, and he still hits one out.
Almost the same pitch he hit off him the other night. So just tormenting his old ball club. Look at that. He's hit in all 12 games, 438 average, 6 home runs, 19 RBI. Mets thinking they might have should have hung on to Daniel Murphy.
Second in the league in runs batted in now. In fact, one of the local newspapers, known for headlines, calls it the curse of the Dan Bino. What's happening to the Mets right now with Daniel Murphy doing his thing. So put Murphy together with Harper, Ramos, the other All-Stars, and it's a great first half for the Nats. As we peruse some of the numbers on what this team has accomplished, they put themselves in a great position. Today's game number 90, by the way.
Well, the home runs 123, ridiculous. First in the National League. The ERA 3.30, unbelievable. They've fielded way better than I've ever seen them since I've been here. The defense has been Trump tight. And the Dusty Baker effect, don't forget about that. We can look at all the numbers we want. This team's been loose. They've been having fun. Dusty's rested the veterans very well. They're going to be fresh for the second half.
Yeah, the bench has been fantastic. So the Nats looking for 3 out of 4. They came to town up by a couple of games. They could leave up by 4, or rather up by 6. And so it's Gio and Steven Matz today. The lefties match it up. Gio's done well here, but he needs a win from the personal standpoint as well.
Heads up. Good job, man.
Oh, boy. Whatever it takes to get ready for the final game of the first half of the season. Thank you, ladies. Okay, thank you.
That is awesome, and I want to party with both of you.
How about that? Gio's had some success in this ballpark before, including a pretty good game FP this year.
7-1 and 12 career starts at Citi Field is Gio Gonzalez. 1.53 ERA. He's going for a series win today before he has 4 days off for the All-Star break. So lots of motivation for the left-hander. Good vibes all around here at this ballpark.
In his career, 10-5, 304 and 19 starts against the Mets. And at Citi Field, wow, 7-1 with a 1.53 ERA. Steven Matz was fantastic against the Nats earlier this year at Nationals Park. 8 innings of shutout ball. I don't know how much there is to this, but his ERA during the day is 1.26. Harder to see maybe and hit than anybody else in the league.
Well, or it just could be coincidence. A lot of guys see the ball better at night. He's 3-2 with a 3.30 ERA at home. 43 strikeouts, just 13 walks here at Citi Field. So a couple lefties going at it for the series finale.
And 21 years old, back in the big leagues is Trey Turner. Great to see him back with the ball club. In fact, he's 22, maturing as we speak. 3 for 3 with a walk in one game this year. He's the leadoff guy. Next. Baseball on Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, by Airlines for America, where airplanes land, opportunity takes off. And by American Standard Heating and Air. It's their All-Star Sales event with up to $1,100 in instant rebates or 0% APR for 36 months. So from above Central Park, looking downtown over in Manhattan, we're in Queens. It's actually called Flushing, New York. Home of the Mets here at Citi Field. Beautiful day, 79. The sun in and out from behind the clouds. Humidity has gone down a little bit. Rain right at the end of the ball game last night, but a good one today. Michael A. Taylor is back. He's in the lineup in the number 7 spot. So 19 of his last 22 starts, and during that time hitting .277. So interesting stuff happening at the leadoff spot and the number 7 spot as the Nats face Steven Matz for only the second time.
A 5-2 loss his last start on July 5th against the Marlins. Gave up just 2 runs on 6 hits over 7 quality innings. Struck out 6 Marlins, walked 2 through 100 pitches. 77 of those strikes. Fastball this year for Matz, averaging 94 miles an hour. Slider, curveball change to complement it. Opponents his last 7 starts are hitting .302 against the Mets left-hander. All right, some defense against the old school Met unis today. Diaz, Lagares, Granderson in the outfield. Cabrera, Reyes left side. Walker, Flores right side. And Travis d'Arnaud behind the plate.
James Loney not starting against the left-hander Gio today, so Wilmer Flores gets to start at first. Couple of hits, a homer, 2 RBIs, a walk, in this series. The Nats come into the day 8th in the league at 252. 419 runs, 315 given up, and 123 homers, best in the league. Marvin Hudson has the plate today with Chad Fairchild. Toby Basner, and there's the crew chief Jim Joyce over there at third base. Marvin Hudson, 19th year in the big leagues with the balls and strikes. MATZ to Turner, underway. Ball one. We're underway at 111 here. The Nats now lead the season series 8-4 over the Mets, including 4-2 here. Turner drives one to center. Ball's got some carry. Off the bat for a moment, looked like Juan Lagares might have been fooled, but he's an outstanding center fielder.
Ball hit well. I didn't hear a real loud sound off the bat. Maybe that's why it fooled Juan Lagares, but so Trey Turner finally made it out as a major leaguer this year. He was a perfect 3 for 3, hitting 1,000. He flies out to about, what, 379 feet away from home plate.
Worth in the series, 4 walks, 1 for 10. 0 for 3 career against MATZ. Only 3 Nats in the lineup today had hits against him that day in D.C. Matt's career 11-4, 22nd big league start. Slaps a base hit to right. Let's see how they react to Daniel Murphy today.
Well, first we got to take care of, there goes a no-hitter. We probably would have taken care of it right here with Murphy, but Jason kind of jumped the gun. Nice at bat. He's playing real well, and here he is. No idea why they're booing Daniel Murphy. It's just mind-boggling to me. He put this ball club on his back and got him to a World Series. They didn't want him, so he chose the Nats instead. But we're going to boo him.
Yeah, they should try something different. All he's done in this series goes 6 for 13, 2 homers, 8 driven in. Amazing. Tied with Chris Bryant, second in the league in RBIs. Nolan Arenado has 70. Harper waiting. This 3-4 thing's going pretty well, by the way, with Murph and Harper. Bryce hasn't had the explosion yet, but he's been solid last couple of weeks.
Most of the damage Murphy's done in this series has been on fastballs. If I'm Steven Matz, A, I'm not throwing him a fastball, and B, I might even think about making Bryce Harper beat me today. That's how hot Daniel Murphy is.
Off speed, dropping in there, 1-1. Good take on the breaking ball. Whoa. Jim Joyce rings up a swing.
No argument for Murphy. Huh.
At his low.
I think all curveballs, right? It's almost like Terry Collins said in a meeting today. If anybody throws Daniel Murphy a fastball, you're fined, released, or fired. One or the other. I guess released and fired are the same. No more fastballs for that guy.
That's a group out there that takes a 7 train to the ballpark.
7-line army in center field.
Yeah.
All orange shirts. I think it's cool. It's a group that got together in 2012 from what I read on the internet. They all wear orange shirts. They all sit in that section, obviously. 7-line army. Get the green line army at Nats Park. I'll wear green shirts.
2-2 to Murph. Batting .349. That's upstairs. Murphy, one of 3 hitters. Ramos and Taylor, the other 2, who went 1 for 3 against Steven Matz. That day in Washington on May 25th, it was a day game. 2-0 Mets winning. Only gave up 4 hits in 8 innings, 1 walk, 7 Ks. But not the same pitcher lately. 3-2, runner going. Worth and Murphy to right. See you later. They keep booing. He keeps slugging. And the Nats are up by 2.
Are you kidding me?
10 RBIs in this series. And against the Mets this year, 7 homers, 21 batted in.
Murphy VP, man. Who's better?
Oh, yeah. I see you, baby. I see you.
66 RBIs.
Look at that look on his face. I mean, there's getting back at your old team, and then whatever he's doing is personal. I don't know what happened between the Mets and Daniel Murphy, but he's more than making him pay. And they might have the police waiting outside the clubhouse after the game.
Fastball in there to Harper, counts even to Bryce. 1-1.
Unbelievable.
Murphy now 7 for 14 in this series. 10 batted in.
Well, he's smart. He knows what MATZ is doing. He knows he's done damage on fastballs. So what do I sit on based on the first 4 or 5 pitches? Off speed.
This one to left for Alejandro De Aza. 2 outs.
When you're a cerebral hitter and you do your homework like Daniel Murphy, sometimes the homework is done in the middle of the at-bat. He's seeing what MATZ is doing. He showed him 1 fastball in the whole sequence. He's a smart hitter. Yeah, you're just showing me the fastball. You're definitely going back to the curve 3-2. He sat on it, he got it, he went upper tank. I mean, when your ability and your sense and your awareness all come together, that's what Daniel Murphy's doing right now. It's been unbelievable.
Off the facing of the upper deck. Obliterating his career high in home runs with every long swing. Here's Wilson Ramos in RBI, 3 hits in the series. He's up there hacking. Nationals have now hit 124 home runs.
Carp, there's a thing I call in-game awareness. Sometimes players get too amped up, even veteran players, to be aware of the situation. What are they doing to me? How are they pitching me? You just kind of go brain dead up there at times. But for Daniel Murphy, he has such awareness of the situation and what teams are trying to do to him, not only in the course of a series, but pitch by pitch, and able to make those adjustments. It's something as a manager, a general manager, you wish you had in every player. You can't teach it.
0-2 to Ramos. And the breaking ball comes back. Worth a base hit the other way. Murphy gets a breaking ball and makes a deposit off the facing of the upper deck here at Citi Field. So it's number 17 for Daniel. RBIs number 65 and 66. He is obliterating New York this year. Daniel Murphy trying to find his first baseman's mitt. That was moments ago.
Just don't lose your bat. Ever. And the Nats have to keep him forever, because if for some reason they don't sign him back, you're going to kill him.
Wilmer Flores, we feature in the Mets lineup. They're 13th in the league in batting average and runs, second in homers, so they live with the home run. Flores in this series is hit one. 8 on the year, 24 RBIs in 34 games. They're smarting from the absence of Cespedes from the lineup. And here's Gio against the Mets for the 20th time in his career, most starts against any opponent.
We've got a 2-run lead to work with, so go out there, be aggressive, pound the strike zone with your fastball, get some ground ball out. 7-1 in 12 career starts here at Citi Field.
On a play right side to Jose Reyes. In this series, 2 for 12, a homer, couple of walks. And for the Mets, he's playing in his 6th ball game. He cracks one high in the air to left center. Taylor tearing back. And Jose Reyes goes right-handed out of here.
Well, that's not the shutdown inning Gio was looking for after a 2-spot and a home run from Daniel Murphy. The Mets third baseman Jose Reyes answers in a big way, so a leadoff tater. It might be one of those days here at Citi Field again, like the first game of this series. Ball flying.
So he's hit a homer from each side of the plate in this series. Granderson takes a strike.
That's all you really had to do is look at Trey Turner's first at bat and how far that ball carried.
Gio gives up his 12th of the year. Granderson 5 for 35 career against him. Here's where Gio has to make sure he doesn't get in a hurry and then maybe give somebody a free bag. Granderson 2-1. Hard hit on the shift. That's Danny Espinosa up the middle and to the right. 1 out.
Lots of action here early from Citi Field. Here's your defense for the last game before the All-Star break. Trey Turner at second base getting the start today. Daniel Murphy with the first base picker. I think you see some of Trey in center field after the All-Star break, from what I understand. Dusty didn't want to play him here at Citi Field on the road, so he's playing second.
Wilmer Flores against Gio, 2 for 15 career. 2 for 4 in this series. Two and 0 on the changeup. And he doubles up and gets a foul ball.
Well, his tempo the last 3 or 4 starts has been real quick, and that's by design. You know, don't think just pitch, but I think to your point, Carpet, was a good one. Sometimes Gio can get going a little too fast, where I'm working fast, but then it kind of spirals out of control, where I don't know how to slow down now. It's just a downhill sort of thing with no brakes. And you looked at how he was early in the season. He had a 1.86 ERA through his first 7 starts. He was working slow then. Remember his tempo? He's deliberate, holding runners, very slow. Even though you like a fast pace out there for your pitcher, I think he was more effective when he was slow.
He went at least 6 innings his first 5 starts of the year and went 7 at Philly. The last of those starts, May 2nd at Kansas City, That's out of play. Since then, he's only gone 6-7 times total. So Gio just hasn't been able to get deep into ball games. Faces Neil Walker here, who's this year been hitting for higher average. Right-handed at .311. .411 career against Gonzalez. Nats have turned 85 double plays on the year, third most in the league. And he's trying to keep it down, maybe get a ground ball. Mets are beaten up. David Wright out for the season and possible future in jeopardy. Matt Harvey, the thoracic outlet syndrome. Surgery coming, we hear. Noah Syndergaard, fatigue. And then Yoenis Cespedes strained his right quad here Friday night. Those are some big guns. 1-2 with one out, short lead by Flores. And Gio tried to bring the curveball back. 2-2.
You see him kind of mimicking his mechanics right there, talking to himself. They stay close, stay back. Front side flew open.
In the air to center, playing for Taylor. I mean, the way this ballpark's playing, they'll go crazy every time the ball's in the air. 2 outs. ASDRUBAL CABRERA is next. Cabrera right side. Pretty good as well. That ball's going to be on a hop to Jason Worth. He's hitting .311 right-handed as well. So the Mets have 2 hits. Nats fans everywhere want to wish our director a happy birthday today. Chuck Whitlock at the controls downstairs with our producer Chip Winfield, our great New York crew. Happy birthday, Chuck.
Is that
Those
Chuck?
guys dream of being a major league director someday.
Is that Chuck on the left or the right? Oh, he's in the truck. I got it. Happy birthday, Chuck.
Here's Juan Lagares. And he has been a big problem for Gio for a long time. .406 career. 13 for 32. Hooking foul, might have broken his bat, and the count 1-1.
Hey, for Gio right now, you can just see he's a little fidgety out there. He's talking to himself early. He's going real fast. And this is just the case of there's nothing to break down mechanical. There isn't. He's been the same pitcher mechanically all season. Maybe his release point varies from start to start on occasion, but this is all, you know, trusting your stuff. You hear it all the time, but it's true. Hey, you won 20+ games at the major league level. You're an established left-hander with some of the nastier stuff in the league. You have to trust your stuff. And as soon as he gets back to that, the consistency will follow. But you can just kind of see out there, he's thinking hard.
1-1, he fires the fastball down and in.
And anybody that's ever played this game has been where he's at right now. Anybody, I don't care who you are, the best of the best.
Another long count. Lagares, playing time, as we mentioned earlier in the series this year, really curtailed after the arrival of Cespedes last season. But starting today, and a 3-1 count, swing and a miss. He tried to make it a 4-2 game.
I mean, throw it, let it rip. Who cares where it goes with the fastball? Don't guide it, just throw it right there. Perfect. 93. One of the more firm fastballs we've seen from Gio this year.
Looking good on the Nissan pitch track.
Let it fly.
3-2, runners on the move here. Right field side, and Murphy hustling, unreachable, sliding into a stop. Looking for a red shirt.
There had to be a kid there, yes.
I'll give it to the kid. Two-one Nats, but a long bottom of the first for Gio. 3 hard hit balls, a walk, a fly ball to center. Swing and a miss on a big breaking ball. Lagares down on strikes. Nats still have the lead on the Murphy home run.
If you throw Daniel Murphy a fastball for a strike, you're fired. First pitch by Steven Matz, slider away, then curveball. Another curveball. Murph taking this all in, right? Another curveball. I'll show you a fastball, but it ain't going to be for a strike. That's a token fastball. Now I'm sitting on the curveball again because you threw me a million of them. So the 3-2 curveball right down Broadway, belt high, and Daniel Murphy does it again. Everything was away, everything was soft. They didn't want him to hit anything to the pull side or see anything firm, but he made the adjustment in the course of the at-bat and still did damage.
Trey Turner, soak it all in, buddy. Trey hit the ball well first time.
Got something cool I want to show you later in the ball game today about Daniel Murphy and the effect he has by standing right on top of the plate.
Can't wait for that. Right now it's Rendon, Taylor, and Espinosa, top of the second.
Both pitchers stuffed today, very similar. That's with the big looping curveball. He throws a slider that Gio doesn't.
And then he's got 95 to jam the right-handed hitter. Michael A. Taylor next. ball diving at 78, 2 Ks in a row for MATZ. Jeep takes us inside the numbers. So the Nats looking for another one to add to their record of 53 wins before the break. And for franchise history, they'd match the 94 Expos.
Maybe a strike this year?
We know how good that ball club was.
Never got to finish.
They were 72-40 on August 12th. Had won 20 of 23, then the lockout occurred. No postseason play that year in Montreal, possibly headed to its greatest season ever. Taylor had a base hit against MATZ that afternoon at Nationals Park. 3-0.
A lot of people north of the border believe that if that season would have finished, the Expos would have went to the playoffs or more, that the Nats wouldn't be here right now. The team would have never left.
4-pitch walk. Wow, is that interesting to ponder.
You know what else is interesting? Bryce Harper Kids Jersey Day on Sunday, July 24th. You get that jersey right there. Pods are in town. First 10,000 kids 12 and under receive this special giveaway. Visit nationals.com/tickets. I want one. I'll wear it. I don't care if it's too small. All my shirts are too small. Cotton candy, baby. Get it in you.
Danny Espinosa, they have pitched him extremely tough in this series. Hitless, 7 strikeouts. Numbers still great though, 313, 26 RBIs over his last 30 ball games. And from the right side, not many at bats lately. Danny 258 from this side of the plate. And he hits one extremely hard up the middle. Taylor digging for second. Ball bobbled momentarily by Lagares, but nowhere for Michael to go. And now a perfect situation for Gio. 2 on that he can bunt forward.
Big leg kick, get on top. That's what Danny Espinosa does best from the right side. Low ball hitter left-handed, high ball hitter right-handed, bullet up the middle. And good call. Gio with the bunt right here can set the table for Trey Turner.
And if you're Danny, you don't want to go into the break 0 for 15 after the kind of first half he's had. So he gets that base hit that breaks up the weekend 0 for. Gio this year, 3 sacrifice bunts, 38 in his career.
Good wheels out there. Just get it down.
And as MATZ made his turn towards second, Gio had already squared around. Pinching from the corners, Reyes and Flores. That ball's too hard. It's going to go to third for a force on a 1-5.
Yeah, just get it down, but not right back to the pitcher. That's the only place you couldn't go if you were Gio. That ball was bunted extremely hard.
2 outs. It's up to Trey Turner. He put a charge in one first time out. Sent Lagares about 380 to deep right center. And Espinosa is just going to slide headfirst into third uncontested. Danny's 5 for 5 this year.
Well, you got a guy that's an infield single in the batter's box. That's a valuable stolen base with 2 outs. Trey Turner can fly. And Danny Espinosa wouldn't have scored on an infield single at second, so now he steals third, nobody watching. It kind of instantly injects the speed of Trey Turner into this inning.
Her ball stayed outside, ball 1. Turner trying to bunt for a hit.
I like it.
Reyes was back hanging around the bag.
Well, I'm surprised nobody's tried Jose in this series. You know, he's a shortstop. He's playing third. That bunt play's not easy when you haven't done it your whole life.
Two and 1. Trey hit .302 at Syracuse, 83 games, 33 RBIs, 25 steals, 61 runs. You name a stat, he was leading the Chiefs in it. They jam him. That ball's hit high in the air to left center. Carrying, De Aza will yield to the center fielder, Lagares. And a couple of fly balls, long ones by Turner, have him 0 for 2.
Field, a big moment and a funny moment from last night's ball game came with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. Max Scherzer's at 112 pitches after issuing a walk to Alejandro De Aza. Dusty Baker comes out to the mound to have a chat with his right-hander, and Dusty told me today he'll sometimes look a starter in the eye in situations like that to get a feel for whether they truly have something left in the tank or whether they're spent and he's better off going to the bullpen. With Max having 2 different colored eyes, Dusty said he asked Max which eye he should look at. Max's response, and I'm paraphrasing here, look in the freaking brown eye because that's the pitching eye. So we've learned that little bit of information. Dusty heard what he needed to hear. He left Max in the game, and Scherzer responded by getting the final out in the 7th inning. So Max with a blue eye, he's got a brown eye, that's the pitching eye. And if you want to talk to Max Scherzer about pitching in a ball game and you want a serious answer, you look him in the brown eye, the pitching eye, guys.
You cannot take a guy out after that conversation.
No.
Coons.com, Dan with our sideline report. Over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
I mean, what other manager in baseball is going to think to say that in the middle of a game in the heat of battle? Ask him which eye. Only Dusty, man.
Travis d'Arnaud leads off for the Mets. Gio goes 2-0, 26 pitches, only 13 strikes. First inning. d'Arnaud 1 for 8 in the series with a home run. 3 for 14 career against our left-hander. This one to center. It'll back up Taylor just a bit.
So a little trouble in the first, gave up a run, and then it was all Max Scherzer after that. And when you go out to ask your veteran, your big boy, how he's feeling, Max is the kind of guy that's going to give you an honest answer. He's talked about that before. Hey, if I don't have anything left, I'm not feeling good, I'll let you know. But he was feeling good last night. 4th consecutive season where Max has won at least 10 games before the All-Star break.
117 pitches, 73 strikes in 7 innings. By the way, the run was unearned because of the Jason Worth throwing error in the first inning. 3 hits, 2 walks, 9 Ks. Scherzer 10-6. De Aza in the series 2 for 5 with an RBI, a couple of hits last night, and that one did not feel good at all.
It's trainer in the background. It's always a tough decision for trainers. Do I go out? Do I stay in the dugout? Some guys get upset if you come out until you don't come out. Some guys get upset if you do come out.
Ray Ramirez back there. Back into the dugout he goes. Back into the box. De Aza upstairs from Gio. 1 ball, 2 strikes. From 0-2 to 3-2. You're up by a run. Pitchers on deck. Mets would love a base runner here. And De Aza's going to hit himself again.
He is having a rough at bat.
Trainer's got to come out now, and it's a rush. Terry Collins behind him.
Did it get him in the same spot? That would be awful. That got him on the knee, maybe the second one? Inside of the knee. Worst feeling ever. Oh. He's seeing stars. He's nauseous. He's queasy. And it goes from that to just hurting a lot. I feel like clapping for him right now. That's a tough at bat.
Requesting Wilson Ramos to call for something away.
And the segue to run to first.
So it's still 3-2. Gutsy at bat by De Aza. 1 out. And he walks. Gio's second walk. Now MATZ a chance to bat his guy ahead and give Reyes, who's already homered, a chance to tie the game. MATZ is a good hitter. 5 hits, 2 RBIs this year. 9 career hits. And 7 batted in, so he's kind of like their Joe Ross. He doesn't sacrifice a lot, only twice in his career. But you would think this situation calls for it. Pulls the bat back. It's a strike anyway.
Got 3 hits in his major league debut.
.92 tailing away. Rendon remains on the grass with 2 strikes.
Throw over here and see if he's bumped with 2 strikes, just to see if he squares.
Gio coming home, and MATZ leaning out to take another pretty good hack.
A lot of times the manager will throw over at a 2-strike count to a pitcher, not to see what the runner's up to, but see if the pitcher tips, if he's still bunting or not. Obviously, Matt's hacking away.
2-1 Nationals. Bottom of the second. Curveball in the dirt, counts even. Slow roller right side. Turner for the throw, and then another throw. So Trey Turner makes a decision that gives the Nats a 4-3-6 tag double play.
Well, it's nice. He stopped the runner, couldn't tag him. So if you reach to tag him, now the batter's safe, Stephen MATZ. So great play by Trey Turner. Guys played shortstop mostly. Stopped the runner. Okay, I'll get the force out at first. Now it's a tag play. The force is off. Nicely done. And what it creates, the advantage, if you're pitching against him, there's a small window to get the pitch in. This is the big window where normal hitters stand. So that's the normal window to throw inside. Now with Daniel Murphy, his toes on the line, that little window to get it in is smaller because I'm on the plate. There's a fear of hitting Murphy. There's a fear of advancing runners because you hit Murphy. That's sometimes where I want to throw it in. Now this is what happens when I try to get in that little window and miss. It comes back over the plate. Daniel Murphy does damage. So number one, you got to be fearless. Number two, you're cutting down the window to pound it in off the plate because I'm standing on it. I don't want to hit anybody. I don't want to hit Murphy if Jason Worth is on first. Now it's first and second for Bryce Harper. So what you do as a pitcher, you're trying to get it in that little window. And by trying to get it in there, inevitably you miss out over the plate because there is no window, and Murphy does damage.
I have a follow-up question.
Please.
Would that make a cut fastball an effective pitch against Murph?
It is, Kurt, but there's no window to get it in there because he's on the plate. If I'm standing off the plate, there's plenty of room to throw that pitch on the inner half, and if I miss 2 or 3 inches in, so what? I just move his feet. But if you miss 2 or 3 inches in off Murphy, you hit him. If you miss 2 or 3 inches over the plate, he drills it. So there's this tiny little speck that these pitchers are trying to hit, and they're missing. And you would think, okay, who cares if I hit Murphy? Well, maybe, but there's usually guys on. So now you're advancing runners and filling up the bases for Bryce Harper. So right now, Jason Worth on first. You can't hit Daniel Murphy. So now I got to hit that spot we're talking about.
Second walk by MATZ. Here's an interesting stat. Murph has driven in 21 runs against the Mets this year. Among the top against an opponent in baseball. Nolan Arenado has driven in 21 this year against the Giants. Chris Bryant of the Cubs, 21 against Cincinnati. Robinson Cano of Seattle, 19 against Houston. It's got to happen against a team in your own division, unless you're Danny Espinosa for one.
So they're going in there.
Weekend.
Watch this. Do you see where it ended up? He wanted to go in off the plate, but it's hard for a pitcher when you have a guy hovering out over the plate to bury it in there. There's no room for error. So MATZ left it right down the middle. Murphy was sitting soft right there. That's why he took it.
0-1 pitch.
Watch, they're going in there again. He wants the ball right in here. And see where it ended up? Because he doesn't want to hit him. And he knows if he misses in there, it's gone.
That was Murphy's 46th extra base hit, by the way. In the top 2 in the league in that category now. It's just crazy what he's doing. Soft throw over, Worth back easily standing up.
So first time they tried soft away, Homer. What are they doing now? Hey, let's go back to the old book. We're pounding them in. Let's see if we can get it in there. I mean, what else? It's a game within the game. It's just fun for me as a former player to watch teams try to find a way to get this guy out. They're going in there again. So he wants this in this area right there.
It's low, 2-1.
Missed.
Worth started, then stopped.
Trying to get it in again. Here we go. So they tried to get it in, right, Carp? Based on what I just told you, look where they want it and look where it ends up. It's not easy to get in that little window when you're hovering over the plate.
Mercedes-Benz on the pitch track. Well, let's be honest, pitchers aren't used to throwing in much these days.
Yep.
Worth on the move. Murphy, kind of a spinning ground ball to the left side. Worth thought about going to third after the Reyes throw. Travis d'Arnaud, the catcher, was covering third, but Murphy advances the runner. So on the shift, that's Jose Reyes, the third baseman, on the assist.
I guess the obvious question, too, is why doesn't everybody stand there? A, you have to have some serious intestinal fortitude, so to speak, to stand there. And B, you have to be able to handle that pitch when they miss, which a lot of guys don't have the bat speed to get to that little pitch we're talking about.
Well, down through the years, we've seen it. There are a lot of hitters who do not like to be jammed. They want their arms extended. So here's Bryce. Fly ball to left first time. Worth going to third. Pretty good jump, and he is safe. The Nats have swiped third base twice today. Espinosa without a throw. And now Jason Worth for his third steal of the year.
Watch MATZ. He's a one-looker, and Jason knew it. You see ASDRUBAL Cabrera's reaction in the background. He smacked his glove with his bare hand. He knew it. So you go over scouting reports with Davey Lopes on pitchers. What does he do when he's at second? He looks at you once. As soon as his head rolls to the plate, go. Danny Espinosa, now Jason Worth. That was big.
1-0 to Harper. Trying to get something to the outfield at least for his 53rd RBI and get the Nationals their 2-run lead back. Way outside.
I mean, let it rip. If you take here, you're taking a 3-0 fastball to get to a 3-0 curve.
Nowhere near, so Bryce takes the walk, his league-leading 70th walk of the year. So MATZ 2 walks in the inning.
A lot of these coming on the All-Star break. Just a reminder, as you enjoy cold one, look forward to Miller time later in the ball game. That's brought to you by Miller Lite.
Wilson Ramos in the series, 3 for 13 with an RBI. Struck out looking first time. You might recall MATZ threw a curveball off the plate that came back. Marvin Hudson rang him up. You know, MATZ is thinking ground ball. The hitter's thinking elevate. And we'll keep an eye on Bryce at first. He's got a pretty big lead.
He does. Real big. Matt saw it.
You love a ball club with a combination of speed and power. And the Nats putting some running pressure on the Mets here. Upstairs into the 2 o'clock hour here at Citi Field in New York, where the Nats have won 4 out of 6 this year, 8 out of 12 overall against the Mets. And today, one of those 2 gamers, the Nats either go into the break up by 4 or up by 6. Came into town up by 4.
Either way is good. You're up by 4. You have 4 games off the schedule. Or you're up by 6. I mean, both work. You obviously want to win.
One and 0 to Ramos. And that is well hit to right center. It is a tweener. It hits the wall, stays in play. Worth has scored. The throw gets away. Harper coming home, and now he's hung up. Ramos will end up at second base. The Nats lead 3-1.
A good at bat by the Buffalo, scorching one into right center. Bob Henley held Bryce, and then the throw got away from Neil Walker, and Bryce tried to score, and that's where it got weird. First the at bat, nice piece of hit, an inside out swing. I think the Buffalo thought he got him. Soft bounce off the track, and that's where you're thinking, okay, maybe they send Bryce, and that's what Bryce saw. Cabrera backing it up, got rid of it quick. And Bryce hung up. He let Wilson get to second.
8-6-2. Yeah, Cabrera in the right place because the initial throw got away from Walker. Here's Rendon with 2 outs. So the Nats do have their 2-run lead back on Wilson Ramos' 48th RBI. By the way, that's a single, and they say second on the throw. Rendon now trying to cash a 2-out stake, as you guys say.
If you saw Jason waving, Bryce isn't looking at Jason. That's just Jason telling you he thinks Bryce might score on this play. He's looking at Bob Henley, stopping him right there. And then Bryce rolls his head and sees the ball get away, and then he thinks, I got this. What he didn't see was ASDRUBAL playing right behind Neil Walker.
0-2 to Rendon. Fastball stands him up. 2 walks, a hit in the inning. Not quite as high. Close in ball 2.
You know, thinking about it too, I don't think ASDRUBAL Cabrera was backing up Neil Walker. I just think the throw was so bad it went to Cabrera playing shortstop, just standing there.
Off speed. Looked like he held. Chad Fairchild agrees, and the count goes to 3-2. Nats have MATZ up to 50+ pitches here in the 3rd inning. That's in there. So 2 walks lead to a run. Ramos comes through, and the Nats lead 3-1. Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. Jake Lamb of Arizona. Look at what he's doing this year for the D-backs. A struggling ball club in last place in the West. Don't blame him. Josh Bell. He got the most money ever for a non-first round draft pick when the Pirates signed him. Hit a pinch hit grand slam yesterday, second at bat of his career. We'll see him Friday. And Craig Kimbrell lost to the Red Sox at the back end of their bullpen for possibly a month and a half. Bottom of the third, top of the order with Jose Reyes. Second time Gio will face him with a 2-run lead. He bolts a fastball to the knees. Gio first 2 innings, 42 pitches, 21 strikes. So each of his innings he's only thrown strikes half the time. Reyes showed bunt. Pitch didn't miss by much, 1-1. So Jose Reyes now 2 homers against the Nats. And maybe 3 if it's fair. It is. And he has 121 in his career. Jose Reyes now 6 of 12 career against Gio.
And fastball down in looked like. And it was only a matter, does this stay fair? Does it hook foul? Stayed fair. You see the frustration for Gio. That's a couple of times the Nats have scored today. And he's giving it right back to the same guy.
Here's Granderson. First time up, he hit a ball hard off the side of the mound. Danny Espinosa, where he is now up the middle, got it, threw him out. So the Nationals have hit 124 home runs. And now the Mets 122. Into right field, Trey Turner. Looked like the ball came up on him a little. 1 out. Wilmer Flores is next. Been a while since Gio had a pure 1-2-3 inning. He had 2 innings against Milwaukee Tuesday with 3 batters because of a couple of double plays. A similar inning a moment ago. But he's just been off the stretch constantly in his last 9 to 10 starts. 1-1 pitch. After the home run, of course, full windup. And a breaking ball in the dirt, 2-1.
Pretty close here.
Popped up. Turner out. Harper in. Bryce under it. 2 outs. 3rd inning.
All right, second half of the season, good stuff coming. Andrew McCutchen, Starling Marte, Pirates in town July 15th through the 17th. See the start time, 7:05, 7:05, 1:35. Race for the postseason is on, folks. Go to nationals.com for all your ticket information.
Pirates are one of the hottest teams in baseball. 9 out of their last 10 going in today's game. Hosting the Cubs and trailing 2-1 second inning. Cubs have lost 5 in a row. The Nats have more wins than the Cubs now by 1. Giants have 4 more than Chicago. Oh, 1 to Walker. Fastball away.
You know, it's probably a fun listen right now, Chicago Sports Talk Radio. just drive up there for the All-Star break just to listen to Cubs fans panic.
Powder's a fastball in there. Gio's pumped it up to 93 a couple of times today. Walker fly ball to center first time. So Pittsburgh red hot. Almost hit him. Count goes to 3-2 with 2 outs, bases empty. Way outside. Third walk, 1 each inning. Here's ASDRUBAL Cabrera. 4 hits in the series, a homer, couple of RBIs, a walk. He's having a good year for the Mets.
And it's his sweatband day here at the ballpark. Walked around the concourse earlier today. Everybody wearing 13 sweatbands. It's a good giveaway. I like it.
If you're a really serious Mets fan and they give you a number 13 wristband and you're superstitious, tough day. Make your call.
Yeah, she's got hers upside down though. He's showing the logo, not the 13. He's rocking them. That's double sweatbands. He must have got a few pair coming in. He's got them on. You think those are giveaways?
No. I think he got his without a ticket.
I think he's being paid to wear his.
1-1 to Cabrera. Pretty well hit. Michael A. Taylor, though, about 360 feet away, has it. So Gio scuffles, but still has the lead. Jose Reyes has been his problem. Nationals baseball brought to you by the RAV4 Hybrid, all-wheel drive and unexpected performance. Visit buyatoyota.com today. Some dark clouds overhead at Citi Field, nothing showing in the forecast. 3-2 Nets, a third of the way in.
Pizza I got here at Citi Field was burnt yesterday. All season long, when the Nats win and score 7 or more runs, your Papa John's pizza will not be burnt. Enter Nats 50. Get 50% off. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's official pizza of your Washington Nationals. That bottom was burnt. so it kind of like dominated the whole pizza. You know, every bite. The top was good.
Yeah. Taylor a walk first time. Yeah, if only they had a few more pizza joints around here. Marvin Hudson's liking that curveball coming in from the outside. Rendon first inning, or rather Ramos, and now Taylor in the fourth. 1-2 pitch. Michael fights one off and broke his bat. Piece of it right out in front of home plate. Inside the Numbers brought to you by G. At Citi Field since late 2011, 37 out of 49. Unbelievable. 116 runs more than the Mets, 30 home runs more. ERA great. Not giving up many hits. 37 of 49 in the other team's ballpark.
There's a few years when that just didn't lose here. I think a little different story lately.
2-2 and Taylor hooks one foul. Sun comes out right as that fastball came home. Strikeout number 4 for Steven Matz.
Michael A. didn't like it. Let's look at it again on pitch track. The Mercedes-Benz pitch track. Yeah, had it as a ball.
Sun blazing. Here's Espinosa. Danny solid single up the middle first time. Set up a scoring chance in the second. Gio failed to bunt. Taylor and Espinosa ahead. Danny stole third. And now he's got 2 straight hits. Going the same way pretty much twice.
So left-handed, he keeps the foot real close to the ground, soft stride. Right-handed, he can't kick his leg high enough. Look at that. Gets it up, gets it down, top hand dominant because that's the hand he throws with, so he's able to get on top of the high pitches. And another bullet for Danny Espinosa.
5 hits for the Nats. Here's Gio. Bunting again, we expect, and that's way outside. Darno with extension kept that from going to the screen on a fly. In swing mode that time. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Probably put the bunt on after this. Maybe a throw over to Espinosa to see what's up if you're Terry Collins.
Now there's a good one. It'll be MATZ to Walker. 1-4. Gio executes, and Trey Turner has a chance to put the Nats up by 2 again.
If you get MLB.TV Premium, you can see bunts just like that. The #1 live streaming sports service delivers everything you've come to expect. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 devices. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Turner, 2 fly balls to the center fielder Lagares. 1 right center, 1 left center.
Gio was really hustling down the first baseline on that bunt. I like to see that.
And Trey got off speed on the first one. Nine for 40 in his big league debut last year. With a 1 home run, 27 games. Oh, and 2. That orange bunch out in right center making some noise. 2 outs, 2 strikes, and Turner gets jammed. This one into left center for Juan Lagarst. Trey Turner 3 balls in the air today. We go bottom 4, 3-2 Washington.
Lead here at Citi Field with so much upsetting news going around lately. Here's a positive story for you. Last week, Bryce Harper took part of his Saturday to spend some time with a 16-year-old Make-A-Wish participant named Kaylin, who lives in the Maryland area and has been battling a kidney condition since birth. Make-A-Wish reached out to the Nationals and to Bryce, who told me today he was thrilled to be able to take part in spending time with Kaylin. The two of them went to the Under Armour store in Tyson's Corner, where Kaylin got to grab some free gear. Then Bryce gave her a tour of the Nats clubhouse and batting cages, where Kaylin took some cuts. She also threw out the ceremonial first pitch at Nats Park and spent an inning with Nats GM Mike Rizzo. Bryce told me today he was just happy that he and his teammates were able to help put a smile on Kaylin's face, and for a day at least take her away from the adversity that she's been dealing with. And all of this, guys, will be shown on ESPN's fantastic My Wish series that they've done the last handful of years. Should air sometime this summer. So good for Bryce, good for the Nationals for taking some time and showing Kaylin a very positive day to brighten up her world.
Thanks, Dan. Great report. Well done, Bryce, who, by the way, had his Harper's Heroes at the ballpark just the other day. The kids from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. So that's Dan with our Coons.com sideline report. Leadoff hitter for the Mets is Juan Lagarst, and that is foul. Not by much down the right field line. Didn't have any slice on it, really. By the way, at Coons, over 2 million vehicles sold and counting.
That had distance, and that was close to a homer.
Gio gets in on his hands here. Murphy tracking it. Watch out, Tom Goodwin.
So I was talking to Tom Goodwin, former teammate of mine, the other day, and he was telling me that you have to stay in the box now if you're a coach. And if you're out of the box, the league takes notes of stuff like this. If you just kind of are close to a player. I thought that was interesting for base coaches nowadays. They're kind of tightening it down. Big brother at the league office, always watching everything. Great teammate. One of the best ever.
So you're telling me they're supposed to stay in the box?
Well, how about this? If they're out of it and something happens, they get in trouble.
Okay. Okay. Because with nobody on, almost every coach in Major League Baseball is 10 feet further to get it, you know, I guess stay away from the hitter, a safety thing.
I think it is a safety thing, and I think they should move the boxes back if they have to stay in them.
Well, we had a terrible tragedy in Oklahoma several years ago where Mike Coolbaugh, a minor league coach for the Tulsa Drillers, was hit. Passed away from that injury, thus the helmets. And those guys, sometimes when there's a runner at second, that third base coach is so far down the line between third and home, it's a little scary.
It is. Tim Tuffle. One of the best in the business.
2-1 pitch. Gio, fastball up and away, crackling that Travis d'Arnaud couldn't reach. And this is out of play to the right side. When you have inside, you know how to handle your finances with confidence. Steve Lombardozzi, as we told you a couple of weeks ago, back in the organization and trying to get back to the big leagues, playing for the Syracuse Chiefs. It's brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you, Maryland native Steve Lombardozzi. This one to center for Michael A. Taylor. Alejandro De Aza is next.
He's gonna have a sore all-star break. A couple of foul balls off his lower half first time up.
Right side. Murphy backed up on it. Then to Gio. And there's that 1-2-3 inning we've all been waiting for. Gio now is retired. 6 of the last 7 batters. To the 5th on a Liberty Sunday afternoon. 3-2 Nats. How about some numbers from PNC? Most hits before the All-Star break in franchise history. Christian Guzman went crazy in 08. Jose Vidro, an Expo Andanat, the Big Cat, Murphy right in there, Mark Wood Zelonic, and of course Vlad.
Yeah, don't forget about the guy hitting right now. We talk about Murph all the time, but a lot of Murph's success, and he said as much last night after the game, due to Jason Worth and what he's been doing lately.
Getting on base. His on-base percentage right now is just under 350.
Yeah, last 29 games, 31 for 102, 304 average. Seems like every at-bat he's grinding.
30 walks, 19 runs over that time, including single walk and 2 runs today.
And I heard something Tom Verducci last night in the Fox broadcast. He's the oldest everyday outfielder in the big leagues. I had no idea. I don't look at him that way, maybe.
Right. Not the way he's playing. They wanted that pitch up. That's where Darno asked for it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Matt's averaging around 17 pitches per inning for his first 4 today. Change up, and it just stayed away.
See, man, this is what he does. Work, work, 3-2 count. This is what I mean by grinding. Whatever happens here, he makes you work. Like that. Throw another one. Re-rack.
Nissan will track the Worth at bat. Pitches all over the place. Number 7 already happening, and there's number 8 for the walk, and he's on base for the 3rd time today. Steven Matz, 4th walk. With more on Murphy, here's Kolko.
Bob, you've mentioned some impressive stats and numbers regarding Daniel Murphy. Here's another one for you when it comes to the damage that he has done against the Mets this season. Since the start of the expansion era, which is 1961, Murphy now has the most RBI of any player against the team he played for the previous season, and his 7 home runs is tied for the most of any player against the team he played for the year before.
That's crazy. They should turn 2 here. 4-6-3. 2 outs, 5th inning. Harper 0 for 1 with a base on balls.
Looks like he's got his all-star haircut working. I like it.
That ball ripped up the middle, and Cabrera over to get it. Not hit as hard as we thought off the bat initially. Guy's playing some ball for the Mets. To you by Hair Cuttery, home of the smile back guarantee. No small print, just big smiles. Yeah, they're smiling. They finally got Daniel Murphy out. Enjoy it for now. We go bottom 5. MATZ, Reyes, Granderson for New York. Checking the index finger on the flip downs, right? Make sure everything's working there.
Make sure that little end of the glasses that sticks out past the bill you're able to get when you go up there quick. See that little point that sticks out? That's so your fingers can grab it when you have to flip it down real quick. Some guys would just go up against the bill of the hat and you hit the bill and they come down, but these extend past, so you just kind of the edge of the bill. Old school. Shocker.
1-1 to MATZ. 2-1. Hit into a 4-3-6 double play engineered by Turner, who stopped the runner through to first, and then they got De Aza on a tag at second. In there, 2-2.
Fastball's been good for Gio today. 92, 93, good velocity, coming out easy.
Throwing a lot more the last couple of innings here.
I think they're chanting, Jason's working. That's what I'm hearing.
You can see MATZ take some good rips. Went to high school at Ward Melville High School in East Setauket, New York, which is out on Long Island, about 40 miles east of here. Second rounder by the Mets. And getting a lot of hacks in right here. Mets took him in the second round in 09. Finally, one fair. Murphy out. Taylor and Harper. It's Michael A., the center fielder. Good job of taking charge in traffic.
Nats fans, you can spend the whole summer at Nats Park. The Summer Saver Pack. You can buy 3 2016 regular season games and get one for free. I love free. If it's free, it's me, and I want 3. Some restrictions apply. Visit nationals.com/summer for all the details. This guy.
Reyes has taken Gio deep twice. Straightaway left, then he wrapped one around the left field foul pole.
See, I'm telling you, if a guy's got 2 home runs off of me, he swings like that and comes out of his shoes, he's going to feel one close to him next time. I'm not saying hit him because I'm not for that, but you have to make him uncomfortable. He's feeling way too comfy. And like that. I mean, this is a leadoff hitter. He's a speed guy. If I have a little guy swinging like this off me, I'm going to bring him back to reality in a hurry if I'm a pitcher.
Two. He went. Home plate umpire Marvin Hudson ringing up the super over, wildly aggressive, crazy swinging Jose Reyes in that at bat. $37 to the Children's Inn at the National Institutes of Health. Every time a national pitcher racks up a strikeout. Toyota case for kids, thanks to our Washington area Toyota dealers. That's in the zone up there for Granderson, strike 1, who has hit 2 ground balls today. Similar to the first one, a little bit higher. 2 balls, 1 strike. A lot of heaters. That one just under the ceiling of the strike zone. 2-2. And he overpowers him with one, and Granderson hits it out of play.
The fastball's been consistently around 93 today. Every time I look up, I see a 93. And there's been 91s, 92s, but it seems like he's opening up the throttle a little more than usual.
Long first inning with 2 hits and a walk. Pretty solid since then. Throws him a strike, and Granderson stays alive.
94. And that's where Gio used to live all the time. 93 to 95 and effectively wild.
That breaks a string of 6 consecutive batters retired. And 8 out of 9. Now Gio has to deal with Wilmer Flores. 4th walk of the day. Flores, one of those walks in the first, and a fly ball to Harper in the 3rd. Good heater.
Yeah, stay right in there. Don't let him get extended. Now it sets up the changeup away. You can double up in there. Big strike 1 from Gio, not just because it was a strike, where it was.
And he drops in a perfect curveball. 0-2.
Watch Wilmer Flores' front shoulder. Just watch Flores. See it come open right there? That's because of the first fastball. He's looking in there again. He tried to cover strike 1 and he couldn't pull the trigger on strike 2.
He hooks him again.
That was all because of strike 1, down and in with the fastball. Nicely done.
The last 4 innings, one of Gio's best sequences of the year. Here's the guy with the go-ahead RBI, Wilson Ramos, to lead off.
Summary is brought to you by Cox's new contour. Get right to the good stuff. 3-2 Nats cruising in the top of the 6th inning. Gio Gonzalez locking in late, figuring it out. Jose Reyes with a couple of homers, but the big blow was the Buffalo. Fully grown Bryson hit this one into right center field. That would score Jason Worth. Bryce Harper thinking about scoring because he saw the throw get away from Neil Walker. He saw it go right to his dribble CABRERA. That was a tough one for him to see. Jason waving him in. Bob Henley stopping him. And Bryce Harper in between both. But you understand why he was thinking about scoring right there. He saw the throw get away. I wish I could flip my hair like that. Trying, I got too much product in it.
A lot of guys your age wish that.
It's not working.
Ramos 1 for 2 opposite field on that drive. Back in the third, RBI number 48. Change up outside. Next pitch for MATZ, his 80th. Gio's at 95 through 5. And Wilson Ramos with a pop fly short right. Granderson.
So Curtis Granderson, old school too. Did you see what he did right there? We're talking about how the shades stick out past the hat. He flipped them down. I mean, this is a dinosaur in today's game. You just don't see players using flips and flipping them down. They're usually using, what, the Oakleys?
Anthony Rendon. If he sees a strike, maybe hacking early. He has been struck out twice. Once looking, last time up in the third. MATZ drops one in. Tanner Roark warming up. Harvey Holstaff available today. 1-1. It's in there on the edge. Gio's pitch count, as I mentioned, at 95. He's warming up pretty quickly. To the left side, Rendon hustling. CABRERA on the move. 2 outs.
You got 4 days off for the All-Star break. Tanner Roark's day coming up. Why not use him?
He has done some relieving as well. Huh? Yeah. Love what he's doing as a starter. Taylor, a walk and a strikeout. MATZ has only given up 1 hit since the 3rd inning. Making another. Michael A. Taylor on for the 2nd time. He's now hit safely in 20 of his last 23 starts. Danny Espinosa's 2 for 2. He gets a chance to hack here in the 6th.
Now Michael A. Taylor thinking about 2. I like the hustle out of the box by the Nats center fielder. This is how you should round first on a single if you're a young player and you're watching it. He's waiting for a bobble to take the extra base. I like it. Let's see if Dusty Baker sends a position player to the on-deck circle since he has somebody warming up. Might get Danny something to hit.
Danny Espinosa locked up on a pitch diving in. So the Nats box score shows Worth on 3 times, 2 runs. Murphy a 2-run 1st inning homer. Ramos RBI single in the 3rd. Taylor on twice. Danny Espinosa 2 singles and a steal. Now the battle begins with 2 strikes, 2 outs. 1-run game. Nats on top of the 6th.
Yeah, I think you can steal if you're Michael Taylor with 2 strikes now to Danny. You steal early in the count. They just walk Espinosa, but now with 2 strikes, you could take off.
swing and a miss. Nats are done in the top of the 6th. Nats has regathered himself from some rough early innings. It's still 3-2.
All right, Mrs. Met in the house today. You know, buried the hatchet with Mr. Met. I haven't been invited over for dinner yet. I don't know what Mrs. Met is thinking about the whole deal. Maybe she hasn't heard yet. Mr. Met and I are friends. Invite me over for dinner or a meet and greet with Anthony Rendon. Check out MATZ Nationals on Twitter. Tag your tweets with hashtag ballpark style for a chance to win a meet and greet with Tony Two Bags. Brought to you by Hair Cuttery, home of the Smile Back Guarantee. What do mascots eat for dinner?
I don't know, but I just got a text from Screech. He said, you two are done if you go have dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Met.
Hey, the world needs a little more love right now.
Correct. Walker, Cabrera, Lagares. Gio, 95 pitches, 55 strikes. He has retired 9 of the last 11 Mets, and the only 2 who have reached have been on walks. Walker, one of those. Up and away. New York box score. Just look Jose Reyes way, and that's about it. Leadoff homer in the 1st. Leadoff homer in the 3rd.
Trust that heater. 93 to 94 today.
Ripped to the left side. Rendon smoothly up with it. High throw. Murphy pulls it down. 1 out.
Sidearm sling from Anthony Rendon. Kind of took off on him. Watch Daniel Murphy go up and then get out of the way.
ASDRUBAL Cabrera next. Gio due to bat first in the 7th. Tanner Roark still throwing. He can empty it and finish strong here. Trying to keep the Nats on top. Cabrera 1 for 2. Single to left, fly ball to center.
I mean, he could be throwing his side.
Yeah, could be.
Tanner Roark. Unless there's a mound in the corner tap in Wilmington, Illinois that he could use.
I just saw, first time we shot him, I saw a little urgency in his session. That did not look like a leisurely bullpen to me. We'll see. Gio has found it.
Best curve of the day right there.
Mercedes-Benz tracking a hook.
So velocity up, 93, 94. If I'm a Met right now, I'm realizing that. I'm looking at the scoreboard. Word gets around the dugout. He's got a good fastball today, so they're gearing up for the fastball, and it's opening up the curve and the change like it used to for Gio when he threw real hard.
.102 last time out against Milwaukee when he got through 6. Stays outside 2-2. Right back to him. 2 down. Juan Lagares next. Jeep takes us inside the numbers. So the pair of aces, Nationals the only team in the league with 2 10-game winners. 22 combined. Scherzer's ERA diving after last night toward the 3.0 mark. And only 296 strikeouts between them.
I'd be less than honest if I'm not disappointed that Steven Strasburg's pitching in the All-Star game. I mean, it's his hometown. He's 12-0. He's the talk of baseball. How many times do you get the All-Star game in your hometown?
For most, never.
I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And you know Terry Collins would take all of that into account. And you get to stand on the mound in your hometown for your league and start the All-Star. I just think it would be cool. And I'd be lying if I didn't tell you I was bummed a little bit.
Consulting with the official chart consultant, Jose Lobaton there. 1 ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs in the 6th.
You know, having never pitched, I don't know what 1 inning does to you as a starter based on what he's gone through this year. I don't know. I'm just saying from a dumb fan standpoint, I think it'd be cool if he started the game.
2-2 base hit. Juan Lagares 14th career hit against Gio Gonzalez, who now faces Travis d'Arnaud. So Dusty will go get Gio after 5 2/3. He will retire 11 of the last 14 Mets he faces. So he does leave with some momentum.
Well, I think it was his best outing in a long, long time. He gave up 2 solo home runs to a guy that doesn't hit him. So what? And he trusted his stuff. His fastball was 93, 94. And it's definitely one you can take into the second half if you're Gio. Nice job, Gio Gonzalez.
Ben Revere will replace Michael A. Taylor in center field. Tanner Roark coming in. It's a call to the bullpen brought to you by UPS. Together, there's nothing we can't solve. Visit the UPSstore.com for locations. Last day of the mythical first half of the season scenario here for the Nationals pitching staff. Gio will go 5 2/3 in a position to win the game. And here comes Tanner Roark, who's been great this year, 3.07 ERA in 18 starts. He did make 28 relief appearances last season.
Well, remember we showed you that graphic last night or the other night when Syndergaard was pitching. 28 stolen bases against. Tanner Roark was right up there with 15. So in a one-run game, he's got to keep Juan Lagares, or you'd think he would keep Juan Lagares close to first base. Ben Revere takes over in center field.
He will lead off the 7th, batting 9th. Taylor out of the game. Here's Travis d'Arnaud, 1 for 10 career. 4 strikeouts, 2 walks against Tanner Roark. Long pause, time given. Three-two game, 3-6-0 Washington, 2-4-0 New York. '93 with some late movement on it. Wow. Up the middle, but there's a guy there. Trey Turner. Nats are out of the 6th inning. So Gio will go into the break with a good taste. Hopefully a W. Some work left to be done for that.
Got a good one going on here from Citi Field. 3-2 as we move to the top of the 7th inning. Baseball's 2 biggest summer events back-to-back. Home Run Derby on ESPN July 11th, 8 p.m. All-Star Game July 12th on Fox, 7:30 p.m. So check it out. It's Not counting my 4th of July party, but whatever.
Top of the 7th. Ben Revere facing Steven Matz for the first time. Ben in this series 3 for 14 with an RBI. Counts even 1-1.
You have 2 of the fastest guys in the National League on base right here, potentially. Back to back.
And Rivera chopper on a pitch up. Matz, quick exchange from the glove to the hand. First out, top 7. Turner and Worth the next 2.
And I feel like there's some days, as you look at Jerry Blevins get loose in the Mets bullpen, that you might see these guys hit 1-2. And that'll be fun to watch, won't it?
Right now, they'll keep pitching Trey upstairs until he lays off and gets something he can hit hard on the ground or drive. Did hit the ball really well first time up. 3 fly balls to center fielder Juan Lagares today. Matz due to bat second, bottom of this inning. And Turner just got a piece of it as the left-hander went off speed again.
Close.
And Turner will drive this ball. Granderson there, 2 down. Next up, Jason Worth trying to get aboard for Daniel Murphy. Worth's had a good day. On base 3 times. A steal, 2 runs after a single and a pair of walks. In just over a year now, since the end of June last year, in the division, when the Nats score 3 runs or more on the road, they're 23-1. Right now, they lead 3-2. At the knees. Nats finishing strong, at least trying to here. And Worth will lift 1 to center. Steven Matz, after giving up 2 in the first, gives up 1 run on just 4 hits since. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Washington Nationals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the expressed written consent of the Washington Nationals.
I see red people, lots of them here this weekend. Nats fans all over New York. 3-2, go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Peanuts continue an 8-game homestand tonight at the Fitz. Highlights include Dollar Monday on the 11th. Tickets are going fast, really fast. Go to the website or call the number for more info.
Bottom of the 7th inning, De Aza. Kelly Johnson hitting for Steven Matz, and then Jose Reyes. Tanner Roark, 2 pitches, 2 strikes to get Travis d'Arnaud.
Catchy 7th inning song here, isn't it?
I think you need 4 days off.
I need to take 2 weeks off and then 2 more. No, everyone needs the All-Star break. We're all grinding.
It's a good time. So it's Alejandro De Aza, then Johnson. De Aza today a walk during an at-bat when he just slammed the ball down into his leg twice, including 1 shot off the inside of his knee. That really looked rough. De Aza first career at bat against Tanner Roark.
He set himself again on that one.
Tried to swing that fastball from under his hands out over the inside edge. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that results in a check swing with that ball veering back in.
He is getting beat up. Did he get hit again?
Foul ball evidently maybe off the knob. He didn't react like he'd been hit, but boy, that was close.
He said ow. Shaking his hand right now. If I'm down by 1, I am milking that to get the leadoff man on. Just throwing the bat down, run to first. What's the worst thing they do? They pull you back in the box and say, no, 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 hit your bat. So what?
Roark gets a fly ball. Espinosa out, Ben Revere in. Ball finds him.
Well, you're dying for some Geico highlights, and we'll show them to you. Gio Gonzalez. That's a curveball that finally got Jose Reyes, but it was because of fastballs that were located earlier in the count. You had to love Gio Gonzalez's heater today if you were Dusty Baker. And then out of the bullpen, here he comes, Tanner Roark. In my opinion, the most underrated starter in all of baseball, coming in relief today. .95 out of the bullpen.
Fans are scrambling as some rain comes in. Nothing in the forecast, but the flags on top of the grandstand have been blowing like crazy for a couple of innings. So Kelly Johnson 0-2. Roark gets him very quickly in the 7th. 2 outs. That'll bring in Jose Reyes.
Little swing back fastball, a little more velocity on it today out of the bullpen for Tanner, letting it eat.
Jose Reyes has never seen Tanner Roark in person. Two and 0.
So he's never even seen him on the street or on TV or anything?
Never. Maybe during batting practice.
During BP?
This week. That's right in there. 2 and 1. It's be a good time to get your team right back in the dugout. But it's going to be picked. Trey Turner to his left. So looking forward to seeing the many different things this young player can do. 1, 2, 3 for Roark. 4 straight for him. Baseball on MATZ, brought to you by Dominion. Depend on us for more than energy. And by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving the armed forces and their families for over 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
See the name of that boat? Incentive? I like it. I mean, it's no see you later with SEA.
Queensboro Bridge, beautiful day over on the East River for the MATZ yacht. And here we go, top 8. So our freight railworks due up, and what they've done in this series. Murphy invincible, Harper good at times, Ramos about the same. They've all contributed. So 3 all-stars due up. And Jerry Blevins, 32-year-old lefty, takes over for the Mets here.
Lefties will see fastball, curveball. Right-handed hitters will see fastball, curveball change. The fastball, 88. The righty's hitting 107 against Jerry Blevins this year. Did you see that?
Yeah, he has a 2.19 earned run average. 41st appearance. He's been busy. They have 2 lefties, Blevins and Bastardo. So Murphy today 1 for 3, 2-run homer. Slowed down his bat. And on the shift, that's going to be caught in short right field by Neil Walker. Harper and Ramos now. Daniel Murphy is 0 for 9 career against Jerry Blevins. Harper is 1 for 4 with a home run. Folks returning to their seats. That brief cloud burst has stopped.
It always blows my mind the way people react to just a little rain.
Harper 0 for 2. Robbed of a hit by Cabrera last time up on a line drive up the middle. Counts even 1-1. Addison Reed. Maybe for Ramos, who's next, because Rendon is after him, and then the pitcher's spot. A little bit outside. Great take by Bryce. And the count 3-1. Nissan will track it.
Darno tried to frame it up. Watch the catcher. Tried to make it look better than it was.
Harper has already walked once today, 70 times on the year. That's on the edge.
Same pitch.
Further out than ball 3.
Boy, went through everything, didn't he? Fastball, curve, change, back to fastball. I think they decided on fastball away. Let's see.
Harper the other way. Ball going away from De Aza, and he will make a running catch approaching the line. 2 outs.
A pretty nice play by De Aza right there. He's been banged up today. Went a long way for that. Made a nice running catch as the wall was approaching.
So here comes the change to Reed to face Ramos.
He had a long way to go. He was playing Bryce in left center, covering that gap. You really don't see Bryce hit the ball down the left field line. So outstretched glove, nice play.
Wilson Ramos to face a right-hander in a moment. So here in New York, 2 outs, top 8. Nats holding on, 3-2. Get something going here. Top 8 with 2 outs, bases empty. He'll face Addison Reed, 43rd appearance, 51 Ks in 40 innings. Only 29 hits during that time.
His fastball average is 92. It plays more firm based on how you see guys swing off a Reed. He's got a little funk to his delivery, some giddy up at the end, slider 85. So 2-pitch guy.
Nationals bullpen, Oliver Perez and Sean Kelly. The Mets have Granderson leading off. Then the right-hander Flores, a switch hitter in Walker. Bottom 8. Tanner Roark, by the way, 16 pitches, 12 strikes to get 4 batters. Ramos is 1 for 3 with an opposite field. Long single to the gap, right center, back in the 3rd.
I think Wilson thought he hit a homer. That's why he turned that double into a single.
This one sky high to the left side. Cabrera under it. The Nats have had 1 hit since the 4th inning. Up to the bullpen for the final 6 outs. By Flushing Bay here in New York. Comfortable afternoon. Game time temperature 79. 1 brief shower about 20 minutes ago. And now this one goes to the bottom of the 8th. And Tanner Roark is still pitching for the Nats. Granderson, Flores, and Walker. Let's check a matchup number here. It says that Curtis Granderson is 6 for 19 career against Tanner, but he's throwing the ball well. Curtis today 0 for 2, pair of ground balls and a walk. Drops a perfect curveball in there.
I mean, based on how he does here in the 8th, if you're Dusty Baker, theoretically, you could let Tanner Roark finish this game.
Yeah, that thought crossed my mind last inning. Could we be seeing a 3-inning save? 8th inning will tell the tale on the possibility of that happening. And Tanner Roark again trying to swing that fastball back. He gets a fly ball on the curve and over is Ben Revere.
A guy used to throw 100 pitches. Why not? See?
Johnny Holiday and Ray Knight taking their momentum into the All-Star break with the Nats Extra postgame show. When this one's over, it's brought to you by W.B. Mason. Wilmer Flores, 2 for 7 career against Tanner. Lifting one to left, he didn't get it. Jason Worth there, 2 down.
I mean, the way this series has gone, the way Wilmer Flores is going, everybody in this ballpark thought right off the bat it was a tie game, but it didn't have the sound.
Here's Neil Walker. Today 0 for 2 with a walk and career 4 for 8 against Roark. Who keeps pumping strikes.
And you remember, I talked to Dusty the other day, the Nats have only had 3 days off in the last 43 days. So the bullpen is needing the All-Star break, for lack of a better term. I wouldn't be surprised if Tanner pitches the 9th. We'll see. Got to get there first.
He's due to bat second when the Nats come up to hit. But if Rendon gets on, perfect opportunity maybe to have him drop one down. We'll see how it all works out as he has retired 6 Mets in a row. And he goes down and away with the curveball and strikes him out. 7 straight with 2 Ks for Tanner Roark out of the bullpen, getting this one to the 9th. With the Nationals on top, 3-2.
Murphy moment or Miller moment, they're both the same recently, just like we promised you earlier in the game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. There's Murphy, there's your moment. A home run in the first inning on a 3-2 curveball. His 20th and 21st RBI against the Mets this year. And he's hit in all 13 these times these two clubs have met.
And he only has 6 games left against him after today. Rendon. Will be leading off here. Stephen Drew has stepped out on deck. Addison Reed still pitching. Top of the 9th. Rendon up ripping. Oh for 6 career against Reed. Anthony 0 for 3 today, and in this 4-game series 2 for 14. Home run here Thursday night. Jonathan Papelbon for the 9th. Good take.
Pretty good job by Tanner today.
Flawless work. Rendon with a high drive to left center. Outfielders to the track, and that is Lagares for the first out in the 9th.
I wonder if that was a tough call for Dusty Baker on either throwing your closer in the 9th or staying with Tanner Roark. It's a nice day at the office. 25 pitches, 2 1/3, couple of strikeouts, and the goose egg's the most important thing.
Yeah, 19 strikes out of those 25. Stephen Drew as a pinch hitter this year, 5 for 18, 3 homers, 5 RBIs. And Drew drives one to right. Granderson back onto the track, 2 down.
Just missed it.
Last chance for something to happen here in the 9th is Danny Espinosa.
I mean, just off the sweet spot, I'm thinking, didn't have the real crisp sound, but Stephen Drew's kind of spoiled us this year with his pinch hit appearances and hitting taters. Saw Stephen around first base, a little frustrated, just missed it.
What a first half for the bench. Ben Revere on deck. Espinosa trying to keep it alive for him. We hope they don't need another one today, but the Wolfpack, as they call themselves, 9 home runs, 18 RBIs, 23 pinch hits this year.
They're crazy numbers.
One ball, one strike on a pitch down and in.
How many people come to a game on the road, watch the Nats play, and when Danny Espinosa's hitting, look at the scoreboard and say, wait, their 8th place hitter has 18 home runs? That's a miss. The scoreboard's broke. There's no way their 8th hitter has almost 20 home runs at the All-Star break. No way.
Out of play.
There it is. 240, 18, 49 RBIs, hitting 8. I mean, that's what? It's 30 and 100 if he stays healthy.
Down and in for the strikeout. So the Nats trying to hold on by 1 to go into the break with a 6-game lead over the Mets. Here comes Papelbon, and there are your New York do-ups. Nationals. 3 outs to get. Papelbon gets the assignment. So here's what's available to the Nats. It's a 2-gamer today. You either lead by 4 or by 6 going into the break. Marlins well ahead in their game, 7-3 over the Reds. Right now it's all about the Nats and the Mets, and here's Jonathan Papelbon, who has been pretty solid. 18 for 20 this year. ERA well under 3. Cabrera leads off.
A fastball slider split. Fastball averaging 90.8 miles an hour.
ASDRUBAL 1 for 4 career with a walk against Papelbon, whose most recent save was Friday night here when he got Cabrera on a fly ball to left to end the game. A drive to center. Going back is Revere, now waiting. 1 out on 1 pitch.
Hit it hard, can of corn. You're playing deep in this situation if you're an outfielder, no double. So Ben Revere's starting with a lot of respect for ASDRUBAL Cabrera. Nothing can be hit over your head, so he's playing deep, went back a little deeper, made the play. Nicely done.
Terry Collins will pinch hit the rookie Brandon Nimmo here for Juan Lagares. He was on deck when Papelbon ended the game here Friday. Way inside.
Down by 1. How close was it? Pretty close.
Just missed part of that jersey hanging out. 1-1 the count. Check swing, foul tip, strike 2.
I have young Joe Orsulak comparison right here with Nimmo. What do you think? Similar stances, similar swings.
1-2. Papelbon keeping it away from the pull side. 2 down. Travis d'Arnaud next.
Real sneaky heat from Jonathan Papelbon. A couple of fastballs by Brandon Nimmo.
d'Arnaud 1 for 3 career against the Nats closer. Playing straight up all around the field is the #1 defense in the league. Fastball, base hit. Got a lot of plate with it, and d'Arnaud is aboard for Alejandro De Aza. Papelbon struck out De Aza looking for the first out Friday night in the 9th inning. He's 0 for 2 career against Jonathan. (3-2) game, 1 out to get. And on the first pitch, a pop-up, it's out of play.
Kind of surprised James Loney's not hitting right here, right now, with 2 outs. I mean, De Aza, no offense. And I don't know how this is going to work out. And Terry Collins knows his personnel far better than I do, but I mean, you're hoping you get to Loney now, right? You wouldn't have to hope that if he was hitting right now.
Strike two, right on the outside edge.
I mean, you figure the defense out and where people are playing after if you extend the ball game. That's the least of your worries.
Up and away. It's been a pretty intense weekend here. Why not tight right to the end? 2-2. Marvin Hudson had a little lean going there, and now the runner at first gets a start.
That pitch was a strike earlier. It was outside earlier. That one a little bit higher.
Applebaum's frozen there for a while. So Travis d'Arnaud will get a head start at first base. Murphy has to hold him. And a 3-2. Swing and a miss. The Nationals will go into the All-Star break with a 6-game lead over the Mets.
I mean, he went 3-2 split right there. Nerves of steel by Jonathan Papelbon. So you want to see what experience does? Diaz convinced he's getting a 3-2 heater. Watch the reaction from the Nats closer. He's fired up. Nats go into the break happy. Your first place Washington Nationals, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it for 4 days and hopefully a lot more. Don't forget, they're in first place.
And now by a wider margin than they were when they got to town 3 days ago. So the Nats up by 6 in the division. 3-6-0 Washington, 2-5-0 New York. Gio gets the win, deserved his 5th of the year, and Papelbon saved number 19. We'll be back with you Friday, Nats Pirates. This has been a presentation of MATZ. Johnny and Ray straight ahead, and from New York, see you later.
Go Nats!